Hi guys, so in this topic, okay, one second. Alright, so in this video I took this question, like it says in the aortic opening of the diaphragm. So in the aortic opening of the diaphragm, which of the following structures passes? Your option A is azygous vein, option B thoracic duct, option C hemiazygous vein, option D esophagus. So you have to choose from the following option. There is also a multiple correct type, right? So you have to choose from the option that which one of the structures passes through the aortic opening of the diaphragm. Aortic opening, right? So you got the topic of our today's discussion, opening of the diaphragm, right? This is our topic of discussion. So first we will discuss about the all the openings of the diaphragm, the attachments, everything, and then we will come back to the question, right? 1 second. Yes, so let's talk about diaphragm and let's talk about diaphragm and openings, right? All right. So if we draw a schematic view of the diaphragm and its attachments, it comes something like this. Say if it extends from sternum above, below it is below there is lumbar vertebra. So above sternum, below lumbar vertebra, and surrounding is your costal cartilage, or we can say ribs, right? Surrounding is your costal cartilage, ribs. So it looks something like this, right? Okay. And in between is your central tendon, right? Surrounding which we will get surrounding which there will be muscular attachments, right? There is no attachment in your no attachment in central tendon. So surrounding the central tendon there will be different attachments with your sternum, lumbar vertebra, costal cartilage. So this is your schematic view, right? So if we look the view from lateral side, we will see that a part of the diaphragm is anterior, a part of the diaphragm is upside and a part is down, like I'm drawing this one. Say this is your anterior portion, this is your posterior. I'm drawing the thorax, right? Now I will draw the diaphragm. So it goes something like this. So as you can see that on the anterior side it is slightly up, and in the posterior side it is slightly down, right? If I draw the ribs, it will be this is here, right? So okay, and this is your xiphoid process, right? And this I can say your lumbar vertebra, L1, L2, L3. Now this is your diaphragm. So see, anterior portion is little up, posterior is little down. So this concept will apply as we will move forward in the slides, right? So remember that anterior portion is a little up and posterior portion is little on the lower side, right? So this is when we view the diaphragm laterally, right? Now if we view the diaphragm anteriorly, this is the anterior view of the diaphragm. We can see something like this, that the diaphragm has two domes, right dome and left dome. You can see little like this, right? So in this scenario you can see that this is your anterior view, right? That the right dome of diaphragm is little on the upward side, right? and the left dome is little on the downside. So the reason is because of the pressure of the lever on the right side. The right dome of the diaphragm is slightly on the upper side, right? So I think this much is clear. I will revise for you that first we drew the this one schematic view of the diaphragm. So above it is attached, above there is sternum, below there is lumbar vertebra, and surrounding there is costal cartilage or ribs, and in between there is attachments, muscle attachments of the diaphragm. But the central tendon has the portion of the attachment where the portion of the diaphragm where there is no attachment is your central tendon, right? Coming back to the next what we discussed is your lateral view. So in lateral view, a portion of the diaphragm means from the anteriormost portion of the diaphragm is little on the upside, and the posterior portion of the diaphragm is on the lower side, right? Next we discussed about the anterior view, where the right dome of diaphragm, right dome of diaphragm is on the upside due to the pressure by the lever, and the left dome of diaphragm is on the lower side. So these concepts we discussed, right? And then there is another concept about the crus of diaphragm. So just remember as for now, and we will discuss as we move on the slide. So till this much is clear, now we will move on the openings of diaphragm. So openings of the diaphragm, now remember that there are major openings as well as minor openings. Of them, the major one is important because now and then it sucks, right? So I will discuss the major openings here. Major openings first, right? So I will use the diagram once again. This one. See, there are many mnemonics, as you can see in your different teaching programs, but just use some logic here that say this is your heart, right? This is your right atrium, right? And also remember that this is your heart, this is your right atrium. So inferior vena cava is supposed to be there on the right side only, correct? This is one concept. Another concept, just remember that on the central tendon the pericardium sits. You know already, but just remember. And third concept is that, see, since the anteriormost portion is the anteriormost portion of the diaphragm, that is the portion of the diaphragm which is on the anterior side of thorax, is on the little upside, as you can see, little upside, no? So the structures that will be remaining here will be on the upper thoracic cartilages, right? Or upper thoracic vertebra, what I mean to say. And the structure which will pass on the lower side will be in your lower thoracic vertebra. It's common sense, because from here on there is lumbar vertebra going on. So the structure that will go through here will be towards your upper thoracic vertebra, and the structures that will pass through here downside, or the posterior aspect of diaphragm, will be towards your lumbar vertebra, or will be towards your last thoracic vertebra. So now I will conclude what I was trying to say. So when I say that the openings of the diaphragm, there are actually three openings. One is on the T8, T10, T12. These are your major openings of the diaphragm. So of course, with this diagram you can understand that T8 is supposed to be there only. If I say T10, it will be here, and if I say T12, it will be here, because after that there is L1, L2, L3, correct? So what will you think will pass through the T8? Because here is supposed to be the heart. So just now I mentioned that obviously it should be inferior vena cava. Now, so we can derive from here that through T8 opening, inferior vena cava passes. Now, does it pass alone? No. So there is another structure that passes through it, right phrenic nerve. So inferior vena cava passes through T8, also right phrenic nerve. Phrenic nerve passes. Why right? Because this is your heart. This concept I already mentioned. Inferior vena cava will pass through here. Along with it, if I say about phrenic nerve, obviously the right part will go to pass through it, right? So these structures pass through T8. If I say about T10, okay, let's talk about T12. So T12 obviously will be this one. There is the part that will come, on the lower aspect of the or we can say better, the posterior aspect of the diaphragm. So that is obviously that is supposed to be your aorta, correct? Here it is inferior vena cava and there it will be aorta only. So that will be on the descending aspect, right? So along with aorta, we will be getting azygous vein, also thoracic duct, right? These structures will pass through T12. Now remaining is T10, the middle structure. Obviously the middle structure will be your esophagus. Along with esophagus, there will be 10th nerve, vagus nerve, and left gastric artery. I meant to say esophageal branch of left gastric artery, or you can say left gastric vessels. So these structures pass through T10. I hope this one is clear for you. I will revise once again. Like I mentioned that the anterior portion of the diaphragm is your little on the, this is a lateral view, correct? Lateral view. So the anterior portion of the diaphragm is little on the upside and the posterior portion is little on the downside. Now with this diagram it is clear that here it is your xiphoid process, here is your lumbar vertebra, that means thoracic vertebra in between. So if I mark here, this will be T8, this will be T10, this will be T12, and then subsequent L1, L2, L3. So this is your up to down, right? So of course these structures, here it will be heart, right? There somewhere it will be a liver. So of course these structures passing through the highest opening will be related to the structures opening through the structures passing through the heart, right? So I was saying that inferior vena cava along with a phrenic nerve. Why right? Because inferior vena cava goes to the right side of the heart, and along with it, if I say which phrenic nerve will go, it will obviously be right phrenic nerve. So these two structures will pass through T8 opening. Talking about T12 opening, the structure that will be descending in the posterior aspect of the diaphragm, there is the aorta, azygous, and thoracic duct. And the middle structures will be through the T10 opening, esophagus, 10th nerve, and left gastric vessels. So this concludes your openings, right? Major openings. Talking about your minor openings. Just remember that that I mentioned the crus of the diaphragm. So actually the crus of the diaphragm is supplied by splanchnic nerves. Also, if we say that there is right crus, there is left crus. Right crus is supplied by azygous vein, whereas left crus is supplied by hemiazygous vein. So altogether, splanchnic nerve supplies the crus of diaphragm, and the right crus is gets supplied from azygous vein, and hemiazygous vein supplies the left crus. Just remember all these points, and I hope this will be fair enough for this topic. So let's discuss the question now. So they asked, in the aortic opening of the diaphragm, which of the following structure passes? So aortic opening of the diaphragm, that is they are asking about T12, correct? T8 is your vena cava opening, just now I mentioned, through which inferior vena cava, right phrenic nerve passes. T10 is your esophageal opening, from where esophageal branch of left gastric artery, 10th nerve or vagus nerve, this passes. T12 is your aorta opening. So this is what they asked, and just now I told you that azygous vein, yes, it passes through it. Thoracic duct, yes, hemiatric has been, yes, right, and along with it aorta, because of course in aortic opening. So throat T12 opening, aorta, esophagus vein, thoracic duct, all these passes. Talking about esophagus, it is throat T10, right, not T12, right? So except this option, everything is correct. So I hope this section is clear for you, right? Okay, so we will meet in another video, right? Thank you.